Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Catherine. I'll be your webinar facilitator today. I'd like to welcome everyone to the new EMURA Single Zone Systems webinar. As a brief reminder, all lines are currently on mute to prevent background noise. If you have questions during the presentation, go ahead and type them into your chat box. We'll be happy to answer at the end of the webinar. This morning joining us, I'd like to welcome Connie Schroeder, Product Manager, Single and Multi-Zone Systems. Connie, you may now begin the webinar.
Great, thank you so much, Catherine. Hey everyone, welcome to the webinar to go through the Daikin EMURA wall mount for single zone applications. For those of you who are familiar with this product, it has only been available on multi-zone systems, but now we are very excited to announce its availability for those single zone one-to-one applications. So today we're going to go through the product lineup, some specifications, controls details, notable features, accessories, a little bit on warranty, and then some key dates. Just a reminder that this is an informational document. Always refer to the installation, operation, and engineering manuals for full product details. So to start us off, a quick look at the Daikin EMURA wall mount. This is a highly intelligent system with very innovative features. It combines form and functionality to create an icon of contemporary climate control with its designer look. And it is available in silver or matte white finishes, so you have a choice in which color you want. It is an award-winning design, so it's not just us that believe it's a great-looking product. It's winner of a Red Dot Award, IF Design Awards, and a Good Design as well. So it's been recognized externally for its design considerations. This is an intelligent designer product for the high-end market. It has all the bells and whistles, great looks, so it is a truly top-of-the-line wall mount for that customer who just really wants to have something that looks very good on their wall. Of course, here in North America, one of our hurdles is that we aren't used to looking at our heating and cooling equipment in the room with us. So this is a great option to provide a nice designer look that's going to blend in really well, maybe even be a talking point on the wall when a homeowner or business owner has guests over. It certainly draws attention and is a great conversation piece. So for those who are familiar with the Daikin EMURA from multi-zone applications, it is a new model name for the indoor and the outdoor single zone unit. So this is now the FTXR, either 09, 12, or 18, TVJU W or S, W or S indicating that it's white or silver. This is a new indoor unit. The FTXR is compatible on both single and multi-zone outdoor units. And then the outdoor unit is RX 09, 12, or 18 RMVJU9, and that also might be a familiar part number to some of you. This outdoor unit currently is compatible with the Vista and FDMQ indoor units, and we are now adding on its compatibility with EMURA, and that is denoted by the 9 at the end of the nomenclature, so you'll start to see that one coming out as well. So again, this new FTXR model is going to be compatible with both the one-to-one and on the multi-zone systems going forward, and then that outdoor unit is going to be compatible with EMURA, Vista 2x2 ceiling cassette, and the FDMQ ducted units. So starting to continue to rationalize the number of parts that we have with different indoor and outdoor units. So taking a look now at the specifications, here's a look at the performance capacities for both heating and cooling. These are heat pumps. SEER ratings up to 18, 11 EER, and up to 10 HSPF. Looking now at our piping, 1/4-inch liquid line, and then 3/8 or 1/2-inch gas lines, and then same drain size across the board. Max length on the 09 and 12 is 65 feet, and then it jumps up to 98 feet for the 1.5 ton model. And the height difference is either 49 feet on the smaller sizes or 65 on the 1.5 ton. It's factory charged with refrigerant up to 32 feet, and then your additional charge of refrigerant for sizes or for lengths beyond that. And then a look at the operating range. It does have low ambient cooling capabilities. So out of the box, it operates from 50 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit in cooling. By setting a jumper with facility setting, that'll drop it down to 14 degrees. And then if you add on that air adjustment grill, it drops it down to -4 degrees Fahrenheit to be able to provide cooling. And then for heating, it operates from 5 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Some additional specs on the indoor unit. We have reduced the airflow rate slightly compared to the previous model, the CTXG, and it's also reduced the sound level when it's operating in quiet mode or SL mode. It's dropped by a couple decibels, so a little bit quieter on the bottom end. But other than that, it's the same dimensions, same weight as that previous model. And then on the outdoor unit, exactly the same here with the previous model used with the Vista and the SDMQ. Both are single fan designs, with the 09 and 12 being slightly smaller than the 18. It jumps up just a little bit, but both still nice, compact, single fan models. Here's a look at the electrical specs. All of these require a breaker fuse size of 15. And wiring, these systems, the outdoor unit powers the indoor unit. So you'll just have one breaker position providing power for both systems. We recommend using AWG14 stranded and insulated wire for connections between the indoor and outdoor unit. However, local code always supersedes our recommendation. So be sure to check with those local codes and make sure that there isn't something different that you have to do for those. But we do recommend AWG14 stranded and insulated wire going between the indoor and outdoor unit. For controls, the unit shifts with an infrared handheld controller. The bottom portion kind of slides down and has more buttons and things to set the timer and add some additional, you can control the vane direction, up, down, side to side. So there's a lot of great capabilities on that remote controller. It looks very nice as well. Optional controls are the wireless interface adapter, which is the ability to then control the unit on your cell phone or tablet, connects over wireless on the unit itself. Or there is another wired controller option as well. So that's if you don't want to use the handheld controller, there is a wired option available. A little bit more on the wireless interface adapter. So this is the way to control your unit on your phone or tablet. It works with the Daikin Comfort Control app. It's really nice and easy to use. You can put all sorts of units on there. So if you have other units in your house besides this new EMURA single zone, you can put all of them into the app to be able to control each of them independently. You can set the schedule, select mode of operation, change temperature. You can put it into powerful mode with the EMURA. So there's some great functions that you can add to these as well. And what's also nice about EMURA is that there is a dedicated slot underneath the front panel on the right side that is perfectly designed to fit that interface adapter. So you open the little slot on the right side.
Oh, Connie, I think we just lost your audio. Can you hear me? If you can bear this, folks, Connie, I think we just lost your audio. If you can, she is dialing back in. So while she's doing that, just a couple reminders. And I know you folks are already using it, but if you have questions, make sure to use your chat box. I have a bunch waiting here already, which is great. We always love to see questions. And we will address those at the Q&A portion of the webinar. I did want to mention, of course, you will receive a follow-up email with a link to the recording. So if you'd like to refer back to it or share it with someone who might be interested, that would be great. And we will have that. And I think Connie is back with us.
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone.
No worries. It happens. Let me go back on mute. Thanks.
Very good. Thanks, Catherine. All right. So just to finish up about the wireless interface adapter, When you open that little slot on the right side, the plug is right there to plug it in, and then you just slide the adapter back into the slot, close the door, and it's nice and tucked away. You don't have to find somewhere else to store this adapter at all. So a great way to integrate the two together. Some additional features of the Daikin EMURA. As I mentioned, it does have a lot of features compared to other wall mounts out there. One is the intelligent eye. So this can be used to divert air away from people in the room. So if we're sitting to the left of the unit mounted up on the wall, it's going to automatically divert the airflow to the right and vice versa. It also can notice if the room has been uninhabited for about 20 minutes, it's going to have an automatic setback in set point. So give a nice energy efficiency kind of feature as well. And then as soon as somebody enters the room again, it automatically goes back to where you would expect it to. We do get asked if you're taking a nice little nap in your easy chair watching the game, will it think that the room is unoccupied? But in fact, it still is able to pick that up because you are making some very slight movements, even if you're taking a nice little snooze. So it's not going to think that you're gone and then either get hot or cold, depending on what mode it's in. Also has comfort airflow. This is to prevent cold or warm air from blowing directly on occupants in the room. So this is going to automatically adjust the vanes depending on which mode you're in. And then 3D airflow is a nice feature as well to help better circulate and evenly condition the space. So this is going to kind of change the vane position vertically and horizontally just to help make sure that air is getting around to all points of the room. Another new feature for this model of EMURA is that the fan will turn off when the unit goes into thermal off in cool mode. So that's kind of a new feature for our wall mounts. And it also includes a multi-monitor lamp. So on the underneath side of the EMURA unit, you'll notice this cool little lamp, kind of in the shape of a C. You can look at this lamp and automatically know the mode you're in. So if you're auto mode, red or blue, dry mode, it'll be green, cool mode, it'll be blue, heat, red, fan mode, it'll be white, and if the timer's set, it'll be orange. So it's a nice way to just look at the unit and know kind of what setting you're in and, you know, make any changes if you want to, or if it's in the mode that you would expect it to be in, at least have that assurance of that being the case. There is a button on the remote control that allows you to change the brightness of this multi-monitor lamp or turn it off completely. We do know that some people, especially if this is in the bedroom, they may not like that light being on while they're trying to sleep. So there is a way to kind of dim that down or turn it off completely. And that's with the handheld remote controller. Here's a quick look at accessories. So very typical accessories for those of you familiar with the product. There is the wireless interface adapter, which we've talked about, and a wired remote controller. You can buy replacement filters, and there are adapters for D3 net. There's some additional part numbers depending on what you're wanting to do with some of those larger builder management systems, and those can all be found in the engineering manual. And then on the outdoor unit, we do have that optional air direction adjustment grill. There are two different part numbers depending on which outdoor units you have, and that's great for helping drop down the cooling operating range. And there is a drain pan heater available as well for those of you wanting to make sure that all that condensation is not going to freeze up in the bottom of that drain pan and cause damage to the outdoor unit. That is available as well. These also work with our wall-mounted bracket if you're going to be installing these somewhere where you want to mount that unit up and out of the way. That is possible with this outdoor unit as well. For warranty, the Daikin EMURA is backed by a 12-year parts warranty with registration. It is a 5-year warranty if this is installed in commercial applications. And there is the Assure extended service plan available to provide factory labor options as well. And always be sure to refer to the complete warranty document available at daikincomfort.com or with your local rep or distributor. Just to look at compatibility, as I did mention, these are new model numbers that are being introduced compared to the previous EMURA, which was available only with multi-zone systems. So that one, you can, if you have it in stock, you can continue to use it on multi-zone platforms. And then this new FTXR model is going to be used with the new outdoor unit with the RMBJU9 or the multi-zone systems. And then, of course, the Vista and FDMQ units can, for one-to-one applications, they can use either the new RMBJU9 model or the existing one as well. All right, some key dates. So this product is available this month. We do have all of the engineering manuals, installation operation manuals. Those are currently up on DaikinCity.com. By the end of this month, we will have Daikin AC and Daikin Comfort updated. There is a consumer brochure available for EMURA single zones. That is the CB EMURA SZ. And then we have updated, there's another little product flyer that's just a little two-page thing that indicates EMURA being available for single and multi-zone applications. All of our other literature, the catalogs, our reference guide, our counter reference guide, all of those are going to be updated in March to include all of our latest and greatest products that we've introduced. And then, of course, we have today's webinar, and we're repeating it again on Thursday. So if you know of anyone who didn't get a chance to join us today and would like to listen in on Thursday, we would invite you to sign up and join us for that. And after we have Thursday's webinar, I will make these slides available on Daikin City for anyone to be able to use for future needs.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Connie. So just a couple questions, or a couple reminders. If you have questions, use your chat box. We'll be more than happy to answer them for you. As I was mentioning kind of during the audio snafu, you will receive a follow-up email a little bit later today with a link to the webinar recording. So if you'd like to refer back to it or share it with someone who might be interested, it'll be that automatic email from GoToWebinar. If you've attended live and clicked the web link, it'll be thanks for joining. If you're listening just to the audio portion and you didn't click the web link, but you're here, or if you're watching later on demand, it's the "we're sorry we missed you." Their system unfortunately doesn't pick up people who are just listening to audio. But in the body of those emails will be a link to this recording, so you can refer back to it or share it with someone who might be interested. It'll also get added to Daikin U. And of course, there is a post-webinar survey, so feel free to let us know how we did. And we have a bunch of questions waiting here. One of the first ones I want to ask is the new model compatible with both single and multi-zone units?
Yes, great question. So it is going to be compatible with both single and multi-zone units. The reason that we had to bring on the model change is that in our Daikin nomenclature, the C would indicate it's a indoor unit for multi-zone systems only. And the S at the start of a model name indicates that it's for both single and multi-zone. So we had to switch to that S nomenclature to keep up with the overall Daikin nomenclature. But the new model, FTXR, will be compatible on both systems, and the previous model, CTXG, is going to be phased out going forward.
Okay, great. And that was actually the next question about CTXG being obsoleted. So we've got that one answered. For clarity, the new units, the FTXR, will work with the multi-ports and the single zone outdoor units. However, the old CTXG will only work with multi-port units. Is that correct? Or multi-ports. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. I'll just scroll back up to this compatibility chart so we've got it, but that is correct. The CTXG will still work with only the multi, so that's kind of an outlet to use up that inventory as you start to incorporate the new FTXR.
Okay, perfect. And a question came in previously if the webinar is going to be available. As I mentioned, yes, you'll have a copy of the link in your email, but also it will be added to Daikin U. What is the model number for the optional wired controller? Do you have that handy by any chance?
Let me get back up there. So the optional wired controller is the DRC944B2. And then there's a couple remote controller cables to go along with that as well.
Thank you for that. In a related question to the webinar, are you planning to put the slide presentation onto Daikin City?
Yes, I will do that after Thursday afternoon's webinar. So you should see them Thursday afternoon, if not first thing Friday.
Okay, that sounds perfect. When will the United States have multiple different colors for the head units that are available overseas? Do you happen to know?
So right now, we don't have plans at this time to expand on the color options. It's just the silver and white for now. Certainly, that is something that comes up, and we are investigating. I think the hard part of that is there are a lot of colors available, and so trying to guess, you know, if we were going to bring on just a couple more, which should those be, which would be the most popular. So that's always kind of a test to be able to figure out what those common colors are going to be. But for right now, our plans are just to have the silver and white option.
Perfect. I know you had a slide on there with kind of dates. Was there a date on there related to when literature will be available?
Yeah, so the consumer brochure focused on EMURA single zone, that is available now digitally, and then it's starting to get on board with our printer to have hard copies available. But you'll be able to find that definitely on Daikin City, and I do believe that they already have that updated to Daikin AC, but we can double check that and make sure and get it up there today if it isn't already.
Okay.
So that is available. But then our general catalogs and reference guides and all those other supplemental items, those are going to be updated in March.
Kind of a follow-on question to that. Do you know if that's a March timeframe is when the Daikin price book spreadsheet will be updated?
That one I'm actually working on updating right now, and my goal is to have it out this week, if not definitely by Monday of next week, and
Okay.
get that distributed to everyone.
And do you know when the brochure will be available on Showpad? Or are there plans to put it on Showpad?
Yes, it definitely will get to Showpad. I will just consult with the literature team about getting it up there sometime this week.
Sounds good. So lots of great questions, and there's still a ton here. So just kind of weeding through them, trying to make sure I'm not asking the same things over and over. Is there a field setting or jumper cut required to turn off the fan when in thermo off for cooling mode, or is it done automatically?
So this is done automatically. There isn't a jumper setting to do that. It's just kind of a new feature in that when you're in cool mode and it goes thermo off, that fan is going to shut off. It's kind of a standard feature.
And in regards to heating mode, kind of a following question came to that one. Is there an option to turn off the fan in thermo off for heating mode?
I will check on that because I believe that the fan already kind of turns off or ramps way, way down when it's in heating mode. But let me just double check on that just so I get it straight in my brain, and I'll follow up with them.
Okay. Is the 3D airflow an automatic setting?
It is not. That is one that you use the remote for to kind of set that vane direction. You'll actually, there's two buttons, one for each vane direction, so either horizontal or vertical, and you'll just kind of push both of those, and then it'll be in 3D airflow. So that is a manual feature to engage.
All right. And will the fan off and cool mode feature be incorporated into the CTXG models? And maybe not, since it sounds like those are going away. Do I have that right?
Yep. Yeah, that's correct. So this feature is only going to be on the FTXR model.
Okay. Do you happen to know if the Daikin 1 controller will operate the system in the future?
Yes, that's a great question. So the Daikin 1 controller, it will be compatible with these EMURA single zone systems, and that's going to be later this fall. So right now that controller is only compatible with our unitary systems that we're using the CTK04, and then the controls team will be pushing out an update in the future, and it's just going to be a software update that will then introduce compatibility onto all of our single and multi-zone systems. So stay tuned for that. We're really excited about that controller and getting it to be able to operate the entire family of Daikin products.
Okay, perfect. Excuse me, sorry, a little froggy here. There was one request to go back to the slide that has the condenser model number. If we can flip to that for a second while we're answering other things, that would be great. Does the outdoor unit have the same programming that only turns on the drain pan heater during the defrost cycle, same as the 4MXL36 TVJU?
So the 4MXL TVJU is a new product that features change to kind of that drain pan heater and the timing for when the drain pan heater will come on. This one does not have that same technology with it of being able to do that. So it kind of operates the same as some of our previous single zone models and how those interact together. So not the same as that new Forum XL technology.
Okay. Excuse me. Will the RX15RM VJU and the RX24RM VJU and a 9 as well, or only a 9K, 12K, and 18K?
Great question. So only the 9, 12, and 18 will end in the 9. The 15 and 24 will not have the 9. So because the EMURA is only available in those 3 sizes, was why we had to add the 9 at the end. There's no change to the other 2 sizes where we do have FDMQ and Vista indoor units. So kind of a mix of 9s and no 9s depending on the size. But the previous model without the 9 for 9, 12, and 18, that's going to be phased out. So you only have this one going forward.
Great. And this question may not be for Connie. I'm thinking it may be referred back to your distributor or rep, but do we need to be a Daikin dealer to sell Daikin? Do you happen to?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would go ahead and just kind of point them towards their local rep or distributor. There's a variety of different gateways to sell these specific products. But I would defer them back to those individuals just to get the full detail.
Sounds good. Do you have an expected sales ratio between the silver and the white models?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm trying to think on previous things which we sold more of.
It's an interesting question.
Let me double check on that.
Okay.
Great question. I'll follow up on that one and let them know.
Okay. And I think this is our last question, but certainly if folks are still typing, keep typing because we've got a little bit more time here. Are the BRCW 901A08, hope you know what that is, available now? They were in short supply. Do you happen to know if they're?
Let me get back. That's one of our controller cables, I believe. Yep. I do not have a good answer for that. I would have to defer to our CSRs. They kind of have the latest details on availability, but we can certainly take that question and I'm happy to forward it on to them as well just to make sure that we get an answer on that for the individual.
Perfect. And all of your questions and concerns will be forwarded over to Connie this morning too. So she'll have everything in writing. As far as I can tell, we've answered everything here. There are a few things it sounds like we're going to follow up offline with, but by and large, I think we got everybody's questions answered. But if you leave the webinar and you think of other questions, first, you can always send them into daikinwebinars@daikincomfort.com. You can always tuck them into your post-webinar survey, and we'll make sure to get your questions answered. And also, I would suggest you reach out to your TSMs with questions too. One other question to come in. Will they be making the EMURA unit in a high heat model like the Aurora?
Oh, great question. That one's come up quite a bit recently, especially as we've announced that we will be bringing this onto single zones. At this time, we do not have plans to partner the EMURA with Aurora capabilities, but we are taking a look at it. So while we don't have anything definitive yet, I won't rule it out as something that we'll be looking to do in the future.
All right, perfect. So those are the questions that I have at this point in time. As Connie mentioned, there is another live presentation of this webinar on Thursday. So one other avenue, if you think of other questions, you can always join us again and bring other questions and comments. I was just going to say something else, totally escaped my mind. Oh, if you need the web link for that, if you need the attendee link, if you want to have someone invited, you can always drop me a note and I'll be happy to send that to you. And as I'm talking, we're getting another question, so that's great. Sorry if answered, but please readdress the feature difference between the CTXG and the FTXR.
So the big feature difference between the two models is certainly that the fan is going to turn off when you're in cool mode and the unit has gone thermo off, so it's reached that point. And additionally, we've also, the airflow has reduced a little bit, and then the sound levels on the low end are also reduced a little bit as well. So other than that, all remaining features, the intelligent eye, comfort airflow, 3D airflow, all of those things, those are still the same between the units, but the big change is just that the fan turns off when it reaches thermal off in cooling mode.
Okay. And the new model is compatible with the MXL, just not high heat. Is that correct?
It's compatible with all of our multi-zones. So MXL, MXS, and that RMXS 48 double fan units. You can use it with any of them where available, just kind of based on capacities and what the outdoor unit can do. Same as all of our other indoor units, but it is compatible with all of them.
Okay. And did you mention, and you may have, I'm not sure, when the new thermostat will be available?
That's going to be available later this fall. The update that makes it compatible with our systems will be sometime this fall. So you'll certainly be hearing details about that as we get closer.
All right, great. So such excellent questions, folks. We appreciate the ball, and I think there are actually still even a couple more coming, so that's good. Will it be compatible with the Life /VRV 4S?
Very good question. So right now it is not, but I know the VRV team, they are kind of looking at that. It would take some development work to make it compatible with those systems, but it's certainly something that they're kind of routinely looking at, but at this time it is not compatible.
All right. So with that, Connie, I wondered if there's anything you'd like to say in closing today.
Yeah, just thanks everyone so much for your time to join us this Monday morning. Really appreciate having you here and being engaged and asking some great questions. We're really excited to introduce this EMURA for single zone. When we brought it out on multi-zone a few years back, the top question that we always got was, when can it be available on a one-to-one? So we are very excited to announce that now it is available. So it's going to be a great companion to our single zone offering a really nice, stylish unit with some great features to introduce here into North America. So thanks everyone again for your time, and please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you do have any additional questions as you start to get more familiar with these products in the coming weeks. So thanks again, everyone.
Thank you so much, Connie. So I just wanted to thank Connie for bringing us this presentation. Such excellent information, lots to digest. Certainly, folks, again, if you leave the webinar and you think of anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out. And with that, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. We appreciate it and look forward to talking to you on another webinar soon. Have a great rest of your Monday, everybody. Bye-bye.